1, 2, 3. It's the podcast. I'm Zeke. We got Harmony. We're here with Marcia Merrins of the North Shore Arts Alliance. How you doing, Marcia?
I am great. How are you?
Not bad at all.
All
Thanks
right.
for letting us into your house, into your home.
My pleasure. Actually, this is going to have a lot of people come through here on Saturday and Sunday for the art trail.
The art trail. That's what we're here to talk about. This
Yeah.
Saturday, this Sunday, the 25th to 26th. Tell us a little bit about the art trail.
Well, it's open from 10 to 5, rain or shine, unfortunately. And I think it's going to be a little bit rainy on Saturday, but they'll be protected. Actually, we're going to have a tent here. This is one of the sites. There are 16 different sites on the art trail. And it is sponsored by the North Shore Arts Alliance. And if you want to know what the North Shore Arts Alliance is, it is a not-for-profit organization, which means that we rely solely on grant money and membership money and donations and sponsorships of some of the activities that we do. The reason it exists is for an organization wholly made up of artists, so they have a voice. If there's a political issue that they need to advocate for, they have a voice. And it is good for the community in which the artist lives to help promote the community, and it's a little part of something cultural which is very important in a thriving community.
Absolutely. I think that the arts are a pillar, a foundation of our society. Doesn't get the credit that it deserves sometimes, so it's great to have people like you who are putting so much time and energy for the movement. I got a question. How do you become a member of the Arts Alliance?
Membership is $35. We have membership forms which will be available at most of the hubs and most of the sites along the art trail. But of course we have a website, northshoreartsalliance.com, and we have a PayPal portal.
Okay.
So if you see this and you want to support the work that we do in Chautauqua County, then this would be a way to do it really, really quickly and efficiently.
That's cool. Now you have some long-term members that are going to be featured this weekend.
Right. Well, when you join North Shore Arts Alliance, you can join as a community member, just supporting the arts, or you can join and say, I'm an artist. The price is the same, $35. If you're an artist member, twice a year, North Shore Arts Alliance hosts an exhibition. Right now it's one is opening tomorrow night, which is May 24th at the Octagon Gallery, which is part of the Patterson Library in Westfield. And that opening will be at 7 p.m. tomorrow, and it is an array of artists that are part of North Shore Arts Alliance who do not have to qualify to be in that show except to be a member. So that's kind of open to all members, and I hope you have an opportunity tomorrow night, if you're in the area, to stop by and see some of the works that are there.
You don't have to qualify to be in the exhibition, but how do you qualify to be in the actual art trail?
The art trail is a little more significant in that it is juried, and a juried show, there are several shows. When you look in the newspaper and you see like the Crafts Alliance at Chautauqua, or that kind of show is juried, which means that if you want to be a part of that show, you submit professional grade photos of your work, and an artist statement and some other requirements, size of your work, price range. And then there is a jury of artists, not necessarily in your medium, who will say, yes, this is really unique, this is really great, and you should be on the art trail.
That's
so
fantastic.
Out of our artist membership, I'm not too sure how many artist members we have. I'll say something like 45. There are 21 who have juried into this art trail.
This year?
This year. We don't usually have more than 25 because we want it to be doable if you're determined to do it.
Right.
So one of the things we do is we put out a brochure, and you will find these in racks, in municipal buildings, on the thruway, close to the area. You will find them in businesses that you go to, libraries. We have been dispersing these all over the place. And in addition to that, we have posters. There's one hanging on my wall back there. I'm sorry, it's the only one, so I can't hold it up. That have been also distributed throughout the county in store windows and other places.
What are some of the main businesses that have really reached out and helped you with this?
Well, we have a series of sponsors that donate. That there's a sponsor fee of $100 to support. Advertising is the most expensive thing. Nobody gets paid, to do the work. It's just volunteers for the most part. I have to say that this year the coordinator had a modest salary to organize this because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But the some of the galleries that are on the art trail have also been sponsors, like the Art Loft and Portage Hill Gallery. 21 Bricks has supported us.
Where can you look to get a full list of the sponsors?
On our website, NorthshoreArtsAlliance.com. There's a drop down for the art trail, and right there are the list of, looks like about 20 sponsors that have given us support for this event. It's the main activity of North Shore Arts Alliance. Putting this together is no easy feat. Getting the artists, not only jurying them, but the artists themselves setting up. I mean, my husband has to empty his shed to give me a gallery because there's not much room in this garage bay. So it takes a bit of effort, mostly in the advertising. This brochure is designed by one of our members. And the poster and all the ads that have been in the paper have been written up and submitted. So it's quite an effort for a group of volunteers to put on this event.
Well, there might be some artists that are returning from last year or previous years. Is there anything new that you might want to highlight, or anything that's unique to this year, perhaps?
Absolutely. Of course, many of the artists who are on the art trail have been on the art trail in the past, and also this year have new works. I have a bunch of new works, which are scattered behind you, but and a lot of the painters and photographers, of course, do too. But the most exciting thing about this particular art trail is that there is a kiln site, which is listed in the brochure under Marvin Burlin, and the kiln site is up in Sheridan. It's on Newell Road, and it's actually called Scott Creek Fireplace, although in the brochure it's called Burlin Studios Kiln Site. And what's going to happen in that site is there will be a bunch of potters who are going to be doing a wood firing, which means that instead of the kiln being fueled by gas or electric, like mine in the back is electric, it's fueled by wood, which means you have to keep feeding it until the temperature reaches a certain level.
Right.
Then you can stop feeding it and letting it cool down. And the kiln that they are firing is so big that to get that to be heated up, it's going to take 2 nights. The people who are firing the kiln are going to sleep there and take shifts to keep feeding this large kiln, which is called an anagama.
What's that called?
Anagama.
Anagama. I like that.
So if you stop there on Saturday or Sunday, it will be firing. And they have to open it to put the wood in, and you can see the objects on the shelves with the wood and the fire around them. It is the most amazing thing. So I think the fact that the kiln site is new and it will only be happening this one time on the art trail is a reason to get up there.
Well, you never know. It could happen again.
Well, it's too much work for the artists to try to organize. But the artists who do wood firing will have a sale there.
Oh, nice.
So you will find some of the pottery that is actually in this brochure, like that's a wood-fired bowl of Marv Burlin's. But other potters who are not on the trail, you will have an opportunity to buy their stuff at the kiln site. And some of my animals, the brown ones, will be there. This is a different kind of firing, but the brown the brown animals will be there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Is there any upcoming artists, anything new and exciting, somebody that you might want to give a shout out to here?
Yeah, so in addition to making that stop, you might want to know about some of the new artists on the trail. And one of them is a husband and wife team. They are both professors at the college. That's their real job. But their fun job is Lee's Wood and Ceramics Hub, and that's Rhonda Lee and Ted Lee. And Ted is a potter, and he does wonderful mixtures of different color clay and makes these wonderful pieces that are functional, so you can eat off of them. And Rhonda is a wood turner. So she will take a piece of wood and, you know, make it into a bowl, make it into a platter, and so they're new on the art trail.
Wood turner, that sounds kind of rare. Is there a lot of wood turners on the trail?
No, there's only one wood turning person on the art trail, but there are a lot of wood turners, I think, in Chautauqua County. It's just that they haven't applied. Or
They're not featured.
Not featured. They would
They're
be
not
there.
featured.
So the other new people on the art trail, Leslie Calamari, who painting and drawing, and she has a gallery in Lakewood called Chautauqua Art Gallery, and she will be on the art trail. She's brand new. But some of the wonderful standbys, like Jim Reno. Jim Reno does these wonderful cartoon Picasso-ish characters on porcelain, and he actually is one of the few potters that earns his living making pottery.
Awesome.
So he does a lot of shows. He's highly collectible and whimsical. There's a picture of his work here, but I will also send you some, and he just is wonderful.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been at this?
It's really, I backed into this. I've only been doing this for about 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah. A friend of mine was a beach glass collector, and she wanted to incorporate beach glass into pottery. And so she took a class at Mudslingers, which is the pottery studio in downtown Fredonia. And she needed 6 people to fill the class. And I said, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Well, I did it, and here I am. She never carried on, but I carried on. So
Those unexpected joys that sometimes come out of left field, huh?
You know, everybody who takes a pottery course starts with a wheel. You know, the ghost, what was her name? Demi Moore at the pottery wheel.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be Demi Moore at the pottery wheel. So I started off trying to be Demi Moore at the pottery wheel, but I found everything came out round, and I found what was in my fingers was sculpture. And these whimsical guys up here. So this is where I make my mark and where I get juried in, because I have a unique pottery style.
Right. I always wanted to be more like Patrick Swayze, but not in Ghost, more like Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, there you go.
So, what are some of your favorite works in the last 8 years? Like, top 3 personal ones. Maybe you've sold them, maybe you've kept them. Like, what's some of your favorite works? There's most internal joy that's brought you.
Most of what I make is pretty joyful,
Okay.
pretty whimsical. I guess the start of the sculpture was an elephant, and there's one up there that's drying now, and there's one down here that's been raccoon
I really
fired.
like this one.
Yeah.
That one caught my eye immediately
Yeah.
when we got here.
So, I wanted to be a part. I like raku firing, which is what that is, but I wanted to be a part of this new kiln site. So I started to make the elephants and other animals out of the kind of clay you can use there. And then, of course, how many elephants do you want to make? I love them. So then I started to fool around and came up with a bear, and then a bison, and then a hippo, and so, but everything starts out as an elephant.
Would you say that's your spirit animal then, maybe elephant?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say they all start out as elephants, and then I just take away what looks like an elephant and put in what looks like a rhino. So, so I think if I had to have a favorite piece, it would probably be the elephant, because I think that got me going for wood firing.
We were talking to the old man before the interview, and he said, "Yeah, she never forgets anything. Trust me." So it makes sense, you know.
So the other thing I've gotten to do, and actually it's on the card. She has glitter. Are these Dorothy? Dorothy was my first custom bowl. So, and this started out. I don't know if you really want to go here, but I'll. This was my early bowls.
We have come a long way, ladies and
What a
gentlemen.
glow up.
Yeah, those are my early bowls, and those were done at Mudslingers, and then they kept tipping over.
Oh.
Like the guy on, I don't know if you know Laughing, you're probably too young, but it's like a drunken guy that just kind of tips over. So I had to make the feet bigger.
Little adjustment.
Then I had to make the legs longer, and then I had to dress it because it looked stupid. So then I started to put pants on it, and then
That's remarkable.
so here's another derivation, right?
Oh, wow.
So
Nice. We're going sporty with this
Yeah.
one here, man.
so then I started
You should branch out into shoe design, maybe.
Well, they're
Yeah.
all. If you look up there, I don't know if you can see that. I make custom-made bowls. So if you send me your clothing,
Wow.
I will make a custom-made bowl.
I'm all into custom-made bowls, man.
So these are my fun things. Yeah, for sure.
That's great.
So those are my two things, and these, of course, are my calling cards.
I
so,
love your
Ooh.
necklaces.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
So these I make
Those
so
are
that
great.
you say, oh, "Where did you get that?" And I said, "I made that. I'm a potter, and you want to come here." And every artist that you meet on the art trail will have a story. Because when you're on the art trail, they want to tell you about what inspired them, and they want to tell you how they do it. They want to tell you, this is how I do this. Because people say, don't you use molds? And I know. I start off with a bag of clay. You see that clay in the corner there on the floor?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's where all of this comes from.
It's amazing.
It comes from a bag of clay.
You start carving. Do you?
I
just
take
mold
a
it?
chunk of clay for this. I'll take a chunk of clay and I'll make a leg. Just roll out like a pepperoni, right? And then I cut out the shape of a foot and I stick it on, and then I build up the foot, and if I have to make toes, I make toes. I have to tell you, Dorothy doesn't have any toes in there.
Oh.
Anyhow, so that's what I do. I build it up and then I make a bowl, and Dorothy's skirt is another bowl that's upside down.
Oh, okay.
See, Dorothy's bowl is really another
Okay.
Wow.
skirt upside down.
Yes.
So these are very time consuming.
Very
But every
detailed.
artist on the trail will have a story. Rhonda will tell you how she takes a discarded piece of wood and turns it into a bowl. And it's magic.
I mean, art and magic, it's scientific. They go
Yeah.
hand in hand, man.
Yeah, it's magic. It's all magic. So, yeah, so I, when I started out, I made bowls. I made plates. I made mugs. And now I make mostly animals, faces, and footed bowls. But then when you go into my gallery, you'll see some leftover functional pottery that is still floating around. And I will custom make, if you wanted me to, a bowl or a platter to fit it.
How do you like to get in the mood to get artsy with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have any rituals? Do you have any way to, like,
I
relax?
listen to music.
Okay.
I prefer to listen to my favorite songs from my youth, actually.
Awesome.
So for me, it's bopping along to, rock and roll. Sorry.
Rock and roll? Well,
before heavy
did you-
metal.
Did you know I'm in a band? I'm going to have to give you a link to the band, see if you like it. Maybe I can inspire your next piece.
Well, my son is a drummer, so.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
Well, is he in a band?
He has several bands. He lives in Philly, but he's also professor of philosophy at Temple
Wow.
University.
So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the links to my band, all right? You're going to send them to your professor's son. He's going to get me a record deal. This is going to be great. And we're going to, for the next album, we'll have you do a piece that we'll put on the cover or something like that.
Super.
Sounds
That's
great. Hey,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the people about the trail before we sign off?
I want you to, whoever you pray for, that there's no rain on Saturday, because that dampens the crowd for sure.
Bring an umbrella just in case.
Bring an umbrella. And I want you to enjoy it. And the other, part of doing the art trail is to be able to drive through the county and enjoy this beautiful time of year.
Beautiful.
The bright green grass, the beautiful flowers just poking up. Visit some of the wineries along the trail. Visit some of the restaurants along the trail. Say hello to the artists. Ask them how they do their work, and they just want to tell you all about it for sure. So I hope you enjoy the art trail. Please stop by here. This is Kniti Griti Works, and join us, and join North Shore Arts Alliance to show that you support the arts.
Speaking of Kniti Griti Works, isn't that your Facebook handle, or what did you say about Kniti Griti Works?
Kniti Griti Works is the name of my business.
But don't you have like a Facebook page for that?
Yep. Kniti Griti Works by Marcia Merrins is the. I have to have the by Marcia Merrins because there was a Kniti Griti Works and there was something that got crazy in there. But it's Kniti Griti Works. And I have a website which was just redone.
Awesome. Oh, cool.
So you can go to my website. It's a web gallery, and if I have what's on the page, I'll be happy to sell it to you. If it's not, I'll make it for you or make you a custom bowl if you would like.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, I'm glad you stopped by.
Me
Good
too.
to talk to you.
One last question. How? Just share some wisdom with the people. How do you stay focused? How do you stay energized? How do you keep being so energetic and beautiful and keep that ball rolling through all of this?
Well, I think we have to wear many hats in our lives. I think you have to do things that make you happy to stay happy. I think you have to work with your creative side. That gives you a joyfulness.
Absolutely.
I think you have to contribute to the community in a meaningful way as a volunteer, whether it's with the library, whether it's in a school, whether it's in an adult home, whether it's in a political manner, library board or a political organization. So I think you need to have those two things. And I think if you're lucky enough to have good genes and you can manage to parlay that into a healthy lifestyle, so you're physically active as well, and don't spend too much time on your computer or in front of the TV, honestly.
Very good advice.
Or your phone. And keeps me happy. Listen to music and dance.
Listen to Trip the Deuce, that's my favorite, and dance. Hey, the art is great. We love the environment. Like you said, Western New York is, there's so many cynical people. I work in a bar that I hear bagging on Western New York and this, that, and the other.
No.
You literally, and I know it's cliche, but sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses because we are blessed to be in a place like this, man.
I have traveled all around the world. I've hiked and traveled and been in many, many cities around the world. There's no place like home for me. And it's not because of my friends, which are wonderful. It's because of the community. And I'm from New York City, so I'm from a big city. But I know we have our issues, economic issues, but I feel safe here. It's easy to take a pottery class. It's easy to go on a bike ride. In other places, it's a big planning effort to do all that. So this is a great place, and the arts are alive and well in Chautauqua County.
Damn straight.
What else would you want?
No, I can't ask for more than that.
No.
Marcia, you're great. You're
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
you so much for your
Thank
time. 1, 2, 3. We're out. One, two, three. It's the podcast. Just had a nice little talk with Marcia. Thank you so much for opening your doors to us. She's got that great art walk going on. What was it called again?
The Artists Alliance, the Art Alliance Art Trail.
The Art Trail. The Art
There you
Trail.
go.
You guys got to check that out. Yo, I'm feeling a little under the weather. Been going through some drama, some trauma. But you know what? Today, Trip the Deuce, 6:30, right here at the Winter Garden Plaza, followed by Code Lazarus. You're gonna come get some Third Thursday action in your life. It's actually Fourth Thursday. That's a long story, but we're gonna be here today playing some tunes for you guys. It's gonna be great, 6:30 to 9:30, and then after, right here at the Wine Cellar, we're gonna do open mic night, 10:30 to 2. Keep the tunes rolling. That's Trip to Deuce news. Now, what about Muttnik, Harmony? What you got coming up?
Well, Muttnik took a break for a while, but we're coming back on June 8th to the Cellar. We have a new drummer. We have about 5 new songs. It's going to be lit. We have 2 hours. Lit. And Winterfellows is opening for us. It's going to be a really fun night.
I'm in Winterfellows too. That's my acoustic band with Joe Peterson. And then you have that, and you're also playing with Winterfellows for the Friday series on, what is it, the 30th?
Yep, May 31st. Then
31st.
31st, yeah.
Yes, May 31st is a Friday. You're gonna have Winterfellows and Harmony.
Yep.
And then on a Saturday on the 8th, you're having Winterfellows and Muttnik. So you're gonna get a big dose of us. Check it out.
Hope to see you there.
Six going on.